Hi everyone, this is Mr. Tian. I'm a physics teacher for more than 10 years. I've seen many students work very hard in physics and don't seem to get the results they want. So I'm here right now, want to share my experience with you, how to do well in physics and how to prepare for the exam. First and foremost, I noticed that many students who do 10-year series have improved tremendously, especially those who do beyond 10 years. What I mean by that is you should do 20 years, 30 years, or even 40 years. And then you get a sense of how the questions, the trend of the questions, and how questions are being set. So how do you get this 10-year series or 50-year series? They are available in the Pasar complex where you can buy from the second-hand bookstores. Not everyone is born an Einstein, but if you do 10-year series beyond 10, 20 years, you will get a sense of the routine and the way questions are being set. Okay. And when you do the questions, make sure you check the answers. Do not do the questions simply you think that you can do it and you thought it's done correctly. Doing question without checking the answers is just like going into a dark room blindfolded looking for a black cat. You won't find anything there. So it's very important to check all your answers before you go to the next question. Um, Secondly, when you're doing an exam question, there will be a lot of details in the question itself, some of which are not relevant to solving the problem. You have to learn how to filter out the irrelevant information and isolate only the relevant physics information to solve the problem. To give an example, let's say the question involves the forces and equilibrium of a human arm. Details like human skin, muscles, tendon, even clothing will be included. However, what we are interested are the forces acting on the arm as an object. And sometimes questions even give you misleading information. To give you an example, let's say an explosion happened on a distant star. The question may even give you the distance of the planet from Earth, the speed of the sound, and they ask you how long do you need to hear the explosion. But the answer is you will not hear the explosion because sound doesn't travel in vacuum in outer space. So this is an example whereby irrelevant information is given to mislead you. You have to ignore them. And the third thing, which is very important and seldom emphasized, is a question speaks 1,000 words. When solving a problem, drawing a diagram would tremendously help you to understand the physical situation. In fact, certain problems cannot even be solved without a diagram being drawn first. A very good example would be the standing wave in a pipe. Okay, to solve the standing wave problem, to find the principal frequency, the first fundamental modes, and so on and so forth, you need to be able to draw the loops and segments of the standing wave pattern in the tube. Without even drawing out, there's no way you're going to solve it correctly. Another tip that I would recommend when solving a problem is do not simply just read the question like you're reading a novel. When you're reading the question, try to imagine that you are doing an experiment in the laboratory. It's just like playing basketball. You cannot read a basketball manual and hope to understand it. You have to read it and imagine you're playing the basketball in the basketball court, and then you get the situation correct and you solve the problem correctly. And the next tip will be very straightforward, but a lot of students also forgot, which is during the exam, try not to tackle the hardest questions. Do the easiest question first, because in that case you will score more points in the less time possible. Another tip I would like to share with you is about time management in the exam. The best strategy when tackling the exam questions will be do the easiest one first. That way, you will score maximum point with minimum time. The next tip I would like to share with you is mind mapping. Mind mapping is very important when you're handling a physics topic that contains many equations. There is no way for a human being to remember every single equation. Hence, if you do mind mapping and you can connect all the equations from one to another, then you don't have to remember all the equations. You just need to remember the essential one. The other will fall into place. One good example will be the chapter on electric field. As you know, electric field contains many mathematical formulas. There are formulas for potential energy and there are formulas for electric potential. However, if you have done a good mind mapping, these two are actually connected and interderivable. So remembering one will help you to remember the other. So in physics, we do not memorize everything. We try to understand